I start my week on Sunday, so we're doing cardio. It's a little chilly here. Okay, we are starting another week, and we are now in improvement season. So my focus is the lifting, and so I carry my little notebook where I write down my the weight I'm lifting, PRs, that kind of thing. So this is my focus. It is my very first day of training. I am working from home for the next 3 days on calls to get my training, and then I get sent to a facility 2 days out of the week. So we'll see how it goes. Taking a break from training, and I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'll get back to my work. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is a check-in day, and I am 10 days post-show.
Everything the same for now. I want to make sure we're in a good spot. I want to make sure you're stable and you feel good. Hunger is pretty high, but I'm not comfortable bumping the food up just yet. I want to really crush this week as far as like getting back into almost like a prep routine, right? Where you're prepping your meals, hitting your cardio, and having some great time. Okay, thanks, Viviana.
I checked in with Coach, and right now we are staying the same for this week. There's no changes. Now, I thought I'd talk about something that I saw today that my coach posted that I think it's very important, and I'm gonna share what he was sharing on his Instagram. So years ago when I started doing bodybuilding and competitions, and I started bikini, and then recently started transitioning to wellness, but everybody was eating tilapia, broccoli, asparagus, chicken. I was too. Then I want to say, I don't know, but years then, Layne Norton started talking about flexible dieting, and then I got interested in that and got my science and nutrition certification, and then figured out that you don't have to be eating a meal plan or asparagus, tilapia, chicken, and broccoli for all your meals, right? And so, and honestly, all, if not almost, bodybuilders eat the same thing every day or create their own meal plan. One, it's time consuming when you don't eat, and then you kind of fall off your macros, versus having a meal plan, eating mostly the same things every day. You know what you're eating, your macronutrients on your meals, and you kind of set up your own meal plan. But the difference with flexible dieting is that you can be flexible, which means you can change your protein source, your carb source, as long as at the end of the day you're consuming the same macronutrients. And so it doesn't have to be the same thing, but because it's more convenient, it's more accurate, and when you're trying to compete, well, that's kind of how you see how you're improving, how you're doing, and as it gets closer to the stage. So my point is that my coach got asked on social media about how at the end of a prep, I'm 10 days post show, at the end of the prep, how there was a athlete who can't stop eating now, or has had been binging or eating a lot and trying to get back on track, right? So one of the things that he said that is very important is that I used to get depleted, eat the least calories, have the most cardio closer to the stage. And it's not like that anymore, or at least that's now how we do it. Yes, your cardio goes up, your calories go low, but not when you're in peak week, not when you're close to show day. When you're in peak week or closer to your show day, you are decreasing your cardio because it decreases inflammation. It brings inflammation down, and then you're adding your calories up. Your macros are going higher. Your calories, your carbs, your fats are going up. So by the time you get on stage, you're not depleted anymore. You're not, in hours of cardio, and you're not tired or hungry. So when you're done with your show and you go eat out, you eat something that you've been craving maybe, or have dinner, but you don't pig out. I used to do that when I did a show years ago. I even, had lots of food, but that's not the case anymore. So what I do now is pick a meal of, something that I've really liked, and that's gonna be like the meal for that day.
All right, guys. So it is Tuesday, December 12th. And I just got a really interesting question sent to me by my Instagram direct message from a competitor who just had a long season. And I wanted to address it because I think a lot of people are going to be going through it right now because there are no more shows. And I think when you deal with a post-show kind of emotion, hunger, without that next show on the horizon, it can create a lot of problems. So the question was about a reverse diet. She said that she had been unable to stop eating for about a week. Maybe it was 10 days. She had put on about 7 to 10 pounds, and she was concerned about how to proceed. Could she get the body fat off? How should she handle the process? So I had some follow-up questions. Okay, I said, okay, so what was your diet like? Can you explain it? Because how the reverse diet goes is going to be dictated by how prep is handled. Let me explain that. So a reverse diet is something that I kind of helped pioneer more than a decade ago, because even at my first show, there was no instructions given after the show. It was just go enjoy your life, get back to normal. Since then, we've come to realize that there is some value in having a plan, executing it, and increasing calories over time. How you handle that is going to determine a lot of your post-show experience and how happy you are and body composition and all these things, because contest prep is very demanding. So how you handle prep determines the success of the reverse diet. Let me say this. My clients generally do not need to reverse diet because I've already reverse dieted them in prep, so that by the time they get to stage, they're already eating more than they were in the off season, or at least they're eating much more than they were in prep. So they don't have this insane need to go binge eat and feel kind of guilty about that. So I've kind of perfected this. So I really want to discuss this specific case where she was eating low calories. So when I inquired about her diet, she said she was on about 900 calories, lots of cardio, very strict meal plan, meaning no flexibility, right? Not a lot of inclusion, very exclusive diet, meaning you only get certain foods for a long period of time, 6 months. So what I told her was, do not try to diet off the fat that you have added. Instead, you need to set a realistic meal plan up for yourself, and you need to go back to that. Cravings are going to be intense. When you haven't had foods in a long time, not only are you dealing with low body fat, which is going to change your hunger signals, like you're not going to feel full, but you're also dealing with sensations that you haven't had in a while that you're going to create more cravings. So if you want to stop the cravings, what I typically suggest is create a meal plan, go back to some of your more basic whole foods, and stick to it for a few days. Then start to be more inclusive, start to include some things. A lot of times during the post-show experience, when people overeat and they start to have feelings of guilt, they might start avoiding things like the gym or cardio. Do not do this. Even if you just keep up with a little bit of your cardio, maybe 50% of what you were doing at the end of prep, Be active throughout the day. Keep up with your workouts. Even if you're not just setting PRs right out the gate, just keep up with the routine, okay? That type of consistency is going to do a lot for your body composition, your mental well-being, and your overall health. So keeping your routine as same as possible. Do not, if you've put on a lot of body fat rapidly, try to lose it. Why? Because you were at whatever, your 900 calories and 2 hours of stairs just to try to lose a half a pound at the end of prep. You've now put on a bunch of body fat quickly without having any real metabolic benefit for restoring your metabolism. So to lose body fat, guess what you're going to have to do? Be more aggressive than you were at the end of prep. Instead, focus on maintaining, which is a much easier process. Okay. Yes, it's much easier to maintain than to lose. And lastly, give yourself time. Okay. Don't look at this as a short-term project. How long should you be out of prep, especially if the prep was handled this way, which I consider far, far from ideal. And I'll explain what I consider an ideal prep. Give yourself at least as long as you were in prep to be out of a deficit. Okay, so if you were in prep for 6 months, give yourself 6 months before you even think about trying to lose body fat. I will tell you there is almost this exact kind of timeline where your body will just start to feel better, look better, respond better. And it's about the exact amount of time that you were in prep. So 6 months after, you'll start to notice like your body composition looks better. And a lot of it comes down to things like your hormones are getting restored, your well-being is getting restored. But I highly suggest you do not try to do another fat loss phase after a long, difficult prep like this for at least as long as you were in prep. So what does a contest prep look like in my mind that is ideal? Now, again, these are my philosophies that I've spent over a decade kind of perfecting because I used to struggle with the idea of people coming off prep and feeling out of control. I rarely, if ever, see that anymore, okay? What we do is we bring food up throughout the process of prep. So we're doing multiple high carb refeed days every week in prep, okay? At least one once we get to a lean position, right? That's different for everybody. But once we start to get lean, usually once carbs get below our body weight, so if you're 150 pounds, once I get your carbs below 150, I'm going to give you a refeed day once a week. Then as you get leaner and closer to stage weight, you're going to get 2 refeeds a week. Then as we get even leaner, we're going to do a diet break, a full week of recovery. Basically, cardio gets cut in half, carbohydrates come up for an entire week. Then we see how you respond. Most people maintain or drop weight during that. Then we can go back into the prep process and repeat. I also have some thresholds for prep, which, I talk about ad nauseum in my YouTubes, and I understand you guys aren't going to look back on 16 years of YouTube videos, but some of my thresholds for women in prep, about 35 grams of fat. Fat is very important for your hair, teeth, nails, digestive support, okay? All these people that are reporting, oh, I'm having digestive distress at the end of prep. Yeah, no wonder. I see you guys on 10 grams of fat for months at a time, okay? I see you on 190, 200 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and maybe trace carbs or things like just crazy stuff. Your carbohydrates need to be about your body weight, okay? So if they're below your body weight and you're not refeeding, you're going to start to have digestive issues. Carbohydrates and fats are very, very supportive for our hormones, our well-being, our digestion, just so many things, okay? Protein is not the end-all be-all for prep. Yes, it'll fill you up, you'll have a lot of food volume, but it can also create digestive distress. Protein doesn't need to be higher than your body weight. A little extra helps. So another big piece to the puzzle with prep is, are you being realistic with the timeline? Are you trying to squeeze in a show just because you're qualified? If you're not showing up ready to go, give yourself more time. I promise you, you'll be happier with the look. The best look for an athlete is someone who has reached stage condition ahead of schedule, and you can bring food up, okay? I coined the term linear loading to describe how I linearly increase carbohydrates from 150 to 170 to 190 to 210 into the show. What happens when you do this and you drop cardio simultaneously? You reduce inflammation, you increase muscle fullness, you increase metabolism. The scale weight will be stable or drop. You'll look better, sharper, harder each day. And guess what? When you get on stage the day of the show, just having had 250 grams of carbs, 1.5 gallons of water, 6 grams of sodium, you don't even care when the show's over about eating. You just care about the next goal. And now you're set up for a successful reverse because that's your starting numbers, 250. Yeah. Again, these numbers are all variations on a specific athlete, right? Nobody has the exact same plan. Nobody has the exact same body, the same digestion, the same goals. So you have to take into account each athlete differently. There is no exact perfect plan. for someone else that matches your needs, this is why you have to have a conversation. You have to have a discussion with your coach. You have to have a coach that understands how the human body works, not a coach that is just going to run you into the ground to support their own ego so they can hold your trophy up. And then once the show is over, you don't hear from them because they don't actually understand how to manage the physique, the mental state of an athlete who has been through prep. Okay. This is something that has taken me more than a decade to learn. I'm still learning. And I really want to help you guys because I want to make this sport great. I want to make it sustainable. I want to make it, the part of the reason I want to win the biggest titles is so I can show that you can do it in a sustainable manner.
It is Thursday and I'm getting my cardio done. I am going on my shadowing today, so I'll be going to a facility shadowing a nurse that's going to be doing that does what I'm going to be doing, so I'm excited for that. So I'm going to get my cardio done and then I'm going to get ready to go. Okay, I'm ready for my first clinical shadowing. To do my cardio on the treadmill. I'm walking, but I came straight to the Stairmaster. That's how used to I am, just coming, opening the door straight to the Stairmaster. How crazy is that? So this week, I'm gonna share with you post-show, what I'm doing, what has been happening. So on Tuesday, I checked in for my 10-day post-show, and coach kept everything the same. I showed you my check-in, but I did gain some weight, so we are going to keep things the same we kept the same things for this week. My weight started coming down. I did start having some issues again, or I noticed like problems with my knees, and I feel like it's my circulation, so I'm going to be going to my doctor to videos, you know that I had issues with my circulation at the beginning of this prep. Then I joined Fred Contreras, one of the challenges. I had never done a challenge, and I thought, I'm gonna give it a try. So did training, ended up second place, and
Viviana
so
Santos.
that's awesome. There's so many women in the group, so they have this Facebook group for the Booty by Brett, and so I'm part of that group, and so I went in and just said, let's give it a try, right? And so I ended up getting second place, which it was awesome. And then I actually got a promotion at work. So when I was at the show, I actually got my contract to sign while I was there. And I was a little worried because they wanted me to do a Zoom call for a training. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that since I was in the show, right? I was at the show in Dallas. And so it turns, everything just worked out. They were able to get me my equipment for my training when I came back home to Austin. And so this week I have been training for my new position at work. And so it's been a lot of Zoom calls, and then Thursdays and Fridays I'm doing my clinical shadowing. And so I go to different facilities and shadow the nurses that are the job that I'm going to be doing. So that's what is going on with me this week. Now I am training with strength lift, which I'm focusing on, progressive overload, whether it is more weight or more reps. But that's, as the calories are increasing, I am feeling stronger. I feel better energy. The good thing, like I mentioned before, and so did Paul, my coach, is that we reverse into the shows. So when we are getting ready for our bodybuilding show, we are already adding up calories towards the show day. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been adding the calories. So by the time I get on stage, I'm not starving. I don't have a lot of cravings. And like I mentioned in my video, I end up going out to eat for a meal that I've been wanting to eat, but then after that it is just like any other day, and you actually, or at least I do, crave my regular foods. And so my schedule is changing, but we're keeping the same as far as I meal prep on the weekend, so I order my food to be delivered. I get most of my foods made so that I can just put them in my portions and weigh my food. But like the only things that I probably make from scratch is going to be my protein pancakes that I do, which is protein powder, water, and baking powder. And then the other thing is my eggs. Those are things that I cook, but other than that, my turkey, my chicken, my vegetables, I get everything already pre-cut or frozen that I can steam or that are ready to eat. So I'll just separate them in my portions. But most of my foods are the same now as my calories are are going up. Then we incorporate other foods that we had in that are more calorie dense. But everything is going good. I am super excited because I have plans for this coming year, and so I'm gonna share with all of you. But it's just been a great year. Of course, I had a lot of challenges, a lot of things going on, but who doesn't, right? And so the next video is gonna be how I got ready. The whole 2023, what happened, how was my whole prep between, right? And then I got some comments on my previous videos on my training, so I'm going to be adding some training as well, so that like I said, training basically is the same. It's just that you have more energy, and so you lift heavier, and you probably start seeing that as you eat more, right? But just kind of give you an idea and what my focus is in the training during my improvement season. But I am very excited for this coming year. I have so much to share with you guys, and so I will continue to do that. But I appreciate each and every one of you for following my wellness journey